Every time Africa says, "We were colonized," the world nods, and the future just waits. But history isn't meant to be a crutch. It's a classroom. And I think it's fair to say, class is over. We've told ourselves the same story for so long that it has almost become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know the one: we are poor. We are exploited. We need saving. That story, my friends, is a leash. It's invisible, it feels light, but it's incredibly brutal. It teaches us to wait, to ask for help, to plan for mere survival, not for creation. But what if we changed the narrative? What if we stopped rehearsing the story of scarcity and started rehearsing the story of sovereignty? Think about it. Scarcity narrows the mind. It makes you focus only on what you lack. But sovereignty, that expands the mind. It opens up a world of possibilities. Scarcity makes people hoard what little they have, hide their brilliant ideas, and constantly count their losses. Sovereignty, on the other hand, inspires people to build, to share risks, and to bet on a brighter future. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds like some motivational fluff, some feel-good speech, but it's not. This is cognitive economics. It's about how our collective mindset directly shapes our economic reality. When an entire population believes it is a victim, its institutions start to behave like victims. They become risk-averse, they shy away from bold contracts, and they're almost afraid of growth. But when a people believes they are the authors of their own destiny, their institutions take risks. They forge new markets, and they manufacture opportunity from scratch. Let's ask a critical question. Who really benefits from us holding onto this victim story? It's not the entrepreneurs hustling day and night. It's not the artisans creating beautiful, unique products. It is certainly not the millions of people creating immense value in the informal markets all across the continent. The old narrative keeps us looking outward for solutions, for validation, for permission, but the power, the creativity, the genius, it's already here. So, how do we flip the switch? How do we go from being passive characters in someone else's story to being the architects of our own? First, we need to reframe our problems. We must stop seeing them as deficits that can only be fixed by outsiders with foreign aid. Instead, let's frame them as puzzles to be solved by local actors. Think about it. Solutions designed right here, scaled right here, and financed right here, because who knows our challenges better than us? Who is more invested in finding sustainable solutions than us? Second, we need to start teaching audacity as a fundamental civic skill. Courage isn't some bonus trait, it's a core competence for nation building. We need to create an environment where it's safe to try big things. This means we have to fund experiments, celebrate intelligent failure, yes, celebrate it, because it's a sign that we're pushing boundaries, and treat small, bold bets like they are national research and development projects. Every failure is a data point on the path to success. Third, we have to make our institutions pro-builder, our banks, our regulators, our grant-making bodies. Their incentives need to change. They should be rewarded for creating winners, for fueling innovation, not for just preserving the status quo and managing decline. Imagine banks that are excited to fund a young tech startup, or regulators who work with entrepreneurs to navigate bureaucracy, not just create roadblocks. Fourth, we must replace the optics of charity with the mechanics of true partnership. Let's move beyond handouts and embrace smarter financial tools. Things like guarantees, convertible capital, and revenue-linked finance instruments. These are tools that align the interests of investors with the success of local businesses. It's about shared risk and shared reward, not a one-way street of dependency. It's about investing in our success, not just alleviating our problems. And finally, and this might be the most important one, we have to rewrite our education system. We need less rote memorization for tests and more real-world problem solving, more product thinking, more teaching our kids how to take a small idea and play with it until it can be scaled up. We need to cultivate a generation of creators, innovators, and builders from the earliest age. This isn't just a practical shift, it's a moral one. The core of it is simple: dignity demands agency. Having a say in your own destiny is a fundamental human need. We can feel truly dignified if we are always waiting for someone else to write our next chapter. Just imagine it for a moment. Imagine a continent where our brightest startups aren't desperately seeking VC approval in London or Silicon Valley, but are courting local capital from investors who truly understand the local market and local demand. Imagine factories being built not just to extract raw materials for export, but to manufacture high-quality goods for the hundreds of millions of customers right here in Africa. Imagine government policies designed specifically to reward the builders, the makers, and the innovators, not just to subsidize survival. That world is within our grasp. It starts with changing the story we tell ourselves. The voice that whispers, "We are victims, we are helpless," must be answered with louder, more definitive action. We must build schools that teach building, banks that lend to doers, media that highlights our makers, and leaders who prefer building markets to peddling mendacity. The history books are written. We can't change the past, but the future is a blank page. And it's time we picked up the pen and started writing our own story. A story of ingenuity, of resilience, of sovereignty. A story of Africa, by Africans, for Africa. Let's start building that future together today. Thanks so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Let's change the conversation.